In this video, we'll talk about goal-crushing shortcuts. With a suitable set of skills and knowledge, now you establish the work you plan to achieve your goals. Along this journey, there are a few more ways other than the plans you have made to help you conquer certain obstacles, especially those which are not work-related. Visualize your goals. As written in Chapter 3, How to Set Goals, the imagination of the bigger picture and the details is part of a visualization technique used by successful athletes, professionals, and business people. In other words, we can comprehend this technique based on the concept seeing is believing. At this stage, we should understand the motivational strength of our mental pictures. However, the focus of the visualization technique in this chapter differs from that of goal setting, as this type of visualization is more process-based. Rather than focusing on imagining you achieve the goal and its details, we should also visualize each step needed to accomplish the goal. Being accountable. Passion, motivation, and inspirations are best paired with a sense of responsibility of our goals. Developing accountability or responsibility is not just an action plan or an action that we can accomplish. It is a type of character building that requires longer time to instill in ourselves. Subject to individual preferences, many people have various methods of developing such discipline. A few examples, such as not avoiding difficulties, announcing our goals to our family and friends, ensuring we complete each task, can help us to understand that being accountable for our own goals inspires us to help ourselves and others to be committed. Some individuals even subject themselves to the reward penalty system by penalizing themselves if they fail to accomplish a job or a goal. While this system sometimes discourages those who are afraid of failure and those who do not benefit from learning of their failure, some organizations prefer to utilize this system to instill fear of failure in their members. Building rapport with the right people. Building relationships with people at work like colleagues, clients, our employers, or even friends of our friends means creating an interdependent system where both you and they can decide to help each other in the long term. Once such a system of relationships is developed, we should look for opportunities to help others first before they are open themselves to helping us in return. In helping out, we will not only receive appreciation and gratitude in return, but also an open mind and a kind heart. While our efforts and generosity to help might be forgotten, or people whom we have helped do not even return us a favor in the future, believing in the goodwill of people and the bigger chances of a return naturally will be in our path. Instilling willpower in ourselves. The basic element of focus and motivation is undeniably willpower. Developing willpower means resisting temporary temptations in order to achieve our goals in the future. When we have developed our willpower to a certain level, we are able to sacrifice our indulgences just to work more effectively to achieve better results. Nurture habits which enable us to focus on our progress instead of disrupting us. For instance, the goal of losing weight mainly depends on the diet and exercise designed for the individual. If she or he refuses to follow a particular diet and constantly eats high-calorie food or unhealthy food, losing weight will be even more difficult than the plans suggested so. Following a routine is another way of cultivating a habit, but it is more structured and therefore encourages us to build self-discipline. Examples of routines would be our exercise schedules and our budgets, whose targets we remind ourselves with. The ultimate aim of following routines and cultivating habits is to build self-discipline, which reflects our commitment towards our goals after we have set our plans. For instance, the students with the best grades in class often possess a certain amount of control in their lives with the effort and time they used for their studies and work. Next, we shall move on to one of the most important steps, that is tracking progress, analyzing results, and making adjustments. Why? It is simply because if you can't measure it, you can't manage it. A goal or plan that was put in place would definitely require particular knowledge, methods, or tools for us to measure progress, as well as to analyze results of our work within stipulated time. Once we have built discipline and have accomplished more than the necessary tasks to achieve a goal, we must constantly track our progress to ensure the development of our work towards goals. There are many ways to track our progress, such as providing reports after our work, writing a diary, or recording our work itself in video or other forms. Recording our progress and our work will not merely be a useless review of it. After the deadline, we can use such records to make further adjustments to our work in the future. This also enables us to gain experience of overcoming similar obstacles in the future. Conquering difficulties. Throughout our progress, we will surely face obstacles and different difficulties, whether a problematic one or an easy-to-solve one. If the problem is one we have experienced before, it will be easier if we have recorded it in our reviews, as we would acknowledge better solutions to it. However, the most important thing in facing every problem is to understand the core of the causes and our options in solving it. Then, whether as a team or individual, we have to stay calm and maintain our composure so that we can evaluate the options we are offered by the circumstances. It is never embarrassing to seek assistance, even if it does come with a price. If we cannot solve a problem but still have time to do so, then it would be best that we use another solution or alter the particular solution we choose to improve the outcome. This is where a backup plan is extremely useful, especially if the problem was anticipated and the backup plan was well prepared. Our decision in choosing the best solution occasionally produces setbacks rather than the outcome we hoped for. Despite the setback, you should be optimistic that you can recover and improve from such setbacks. At least it would be beneficial if you view it as an invaluable lesson. Nevertheless, there are certain causes in your work which are beyond your control, such as natural disasters, illnesses, and accidents. These are the unfortunate events which you must recover from. Besides, you must also focus on what you can control. Learn from failures. As it is easier said than done, many people, whether successful or not, face difficulties in learning from their failures, let alone face their failures. Firstly, you must not avoid the fact that your failure does not mean you cannot improve and progress from it. Because of this, you must be physically and mentally flexible to accept failure and move on. The truth of success is that examining your failures can help you adapt to new situations, assess improvised solutions, and progress from your setbacks. Firstly, you can investigate the causes of your failures by reviewing every step of your preparations. If there was any fault detected there, you could rectify the problem and ensure that such a mistake will never be repeated. Then you should also assess your execution of the plans and be honest about your efforts and mistakes in it. While you might be biased in expecting that you have tried your best and find no fault in your execution, you can also seek the help of experts or more experienced colleagues to assess your work which you have recorded. Finally, you should find ways or develop a system to help you learn from such mistakes or failures to anticipate similar problems. Celebrating the wins. Anything that is not considered a failure should be celebrated as progress. Even if the success you have achieved is not worth the celebration, rewarding yourself by the minimum is encouraged, as it will not only inspire you to progress further in achieving your goals, it will also strengthen your faith in yourself and your belief in achieving your goals.
For more free educational content, visit learnforfree.biz. Content produced and distributed by AllSuperInfo.